Hello everybody, Basic Ollie here, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to share with you my top 10 iRacing combos for Season 1 of 2026. Selected from the extensive race schedule, because my goodness me, you don't realise how many races there are until you go through the schedule. It is massive. But anyways, these picks are just based on my opinion. They're not listed in any particular order. They are the top 10, but you can put them in whatever order you like, really. These are just the ones that stood out to me. Of course, there are other combos worth mentioning that have not made the list. There are a few bonus ones that I've put in there myself that haven't quite made the top 10. But if I still have missed a combination out, please do let me know in the comments what it is, just so we can spread awareness so that people know when that combo is as well. Anyways, enough waffling. Let's crack on with the video, shall we? And let's have a look at the top 10 combos for next season. Okay, let's get the most obvious one out of the way first, shall we? Of course, it's going to be the Daytona 24-hour. Taking part between the 16th and 18th of January of 2026, Daytona 24-hour is, without a doubt, for me, the most popular special event on iRacing. I think is statistically as well the most popular as well. I think last season we got a crazy amount of teams, 2,500 teams I think signed up. I believe it's a record-breaking amount of teams signed up to Daytona in 2025. Who knows what we're going to get in 2026? Will people be put off by the bus stop? Will it stop teams from doing it? Who knows? I hope not. I really, really hope not, because it is a special event. It's the first 24-hour race I ever did in sim racing, and it's got a special place in my heart. Fingers crossed the weather's good this year. 2025, it wasn't particularly great for our team. It caused us a lot of issues. We were leading until, unfortunately, we meatballed with about, 6-7 hours to go, and yeah, pretty heartbreaking. But regardless, Daytona 24-hour between the 16th and 18th of January this year, incredibly popular. It's going to be incredibly popular again. I look forward to it, and I think you guys will be looking forward to it too. Now, whilst we are still talking about Daytona, one of the biggest weeks of the year is the IMSA Daytona week, which is always the week before the Daytona 24-hour. So starting from the 13th of January, IMSA Open and IMSA Fixed will be at Daytona. The BOP will be applied, and this is just the perfect opportunity to get as much practice in as you can before the big event itself the following weekend. Now, the splits are insane. You can get some crazy softs. Last year, we're getting 7-8k softs, which is incredible. Truly incredible. And I don't know any other week where the softs just get quite so high. Yes, Spa 24-hour. Yes, the softs can get high, but I'm telling you, IMSA on the week of Daytona 24-hour, it's incredible. It really is incredible. So that week is the week before the Daytona 24-hour. That's on the 13th of January. IMSA Open, IMSA Fixed. Keep an eye out for it. Like I said, it's perfect practice for you. And yeah, the softs are going to be crazy. So week before Daytona 24-hour, always remember, IMSA does go to Daytona. It'll be perfect practice for you and your team. But before those two events, we have the Raw before the 24. Taking place between the 9th and 10th of January. We have a 2-hour and 24-minute race around Daytona, including the LMP3s, GT4s, and TCR classes. Now, this is an event you can do by yourself, so you can do the whole event by yourself. And it's, for me, I find it's a little bit of fun, a good way to switch off before the sweatiness of IMSA at Daytona and the actual 24-hour begins. It's a lot of fun, underrated. Despite the sign-ups it gets, sign-ups in its thousands, but despite that, I think it's a little bit underrated. Many people avoid it, which is a little bit of a shame, but yeah, I do think it's a great event, and one I think you should take part in if you want to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of downtime, shall we say, before the actual sweatiness begins of IMSA. But that is between the 9th and 10th of January. I think that is officially the first special event of 2026. I think I did a quiz a few years ago where I said what the first special event of the year is, and you'd be surprised how many people forget about this event. They always say Daytona 24, but no, it is the Raw before the 24. So yeah, 9th and 10th of January, keep an eye out for it. Should be a lot of fun, and yeah, fingers crossed you do well in the event. Now, before the Raw, before the 24, there's also the Falcon Sports Car Challenge that is going to Daytona the week of the event. So January 6th. the Falcon Sports Car Challenge will be going to Daytona, and that will be the LMP3 and GT4 cars, and that is just basically a perfect way to practice before the event as well on the 9th and 10th of January. So if you're a big fan of Raw before the 24 and want to get some practice in the LMP3 or the GT4, then the Falcon Sports Car Challenge on January 6th, I think that's week 4, will be the event for you. Now, I imagine TCRs will have their own event before that as well, so you can get your practice in at Daytona. But so yeah, January 6th, Falcon Sports Car Challenge, also going to Daytona as well. So if you want to have a little bit of practice, a little bit of fun before the Raw, before the 24 of the week following up to the event, it is perfect to do. So Falcon Sports Car Challenge, sign up to it if you want to get plenty of practice in for the Raw before the 24. All right, next up on the list, let's talk about Bathurst 12 Hour, shall we? Now, this is taking part between the 20th and the 22nd of February, 12-hour race around Mount Panorama. Now, this year, at the time of recording, 2025, the Bathurst 12-hour was quite controversial because it did have rain, with the majority of splits having rain, and it was catastrophic. So many meatballs, so many DNFs. The weather was horrific, and it definitely would have been red flagged in real life. But regardless, many people tried to carry on and tried to do the event itself, but it did feel like it was a little bit, yeah, I don't want to say ruined. Maybe it was a little bit spoiled with how much rain we did have for some of those splits, and took away some of the fun of the event because it was just so torrential. It was just so dangerous to race around the track. It was pretty dire. But regardless of that, Bathurst 12 Hour is highly regarded as one of the best events of the year, one of the best special events. And yeah, I expect this year to still be as popular as ever. I'm going to take a guess and say they're not going to do any rain this year because of the controversies of 2025, but who knows, maybe they'll be brave enough to do it. We shall see. But yeah, Bathurst 12 Hour taking part between the 20th and 22nd of February. Starts at the dark, I think it's like 4 or 5 a.m, and then you have to deal with scorching hot temperatures for essentially 10 hours of the race. But yeah, good fun. GT3 cars, sign-ups will be through the roof, and yeah, if you are taking part, best of luck. And of course, because it is the Bathurst 12 Hour, the week of the event, 17th of February, it is going to be the GT Sprint and the GT Fixed at Bathurst as well. And more than likely, it will have the BOP applied. And because of that, with the BOP applied, and because it's the week before the event itself, this has to go in my list of top 10 races for Season 1, because it will be so popular, and the softs will be yet again incredible. BOP applied, so it's perfect practice for the event itself. It's too big of a week to miss out. I know we've got the Bathurst 12 Hour on the list already, but it's too big, if you ask me, of a week to miss out. And even if the Bathurst 12 Hour wasn't there, this would still go in my list. So yeah, that is on the 17th of February. And again, if you're taking part that week, wish you all the best. Hopefully practice goes well, and fingers crossed for no rain for the actual 12 Hour. Okay, next up on the list, and actually moving away from the sports car stuff, is Formula 3, actually. So Formula C is going to the Nürburgring Combined on the 23rd of December. Hell of a way to celebrate Christmas, shall we say. Yeah, 23rd of December, Formula 3s at this track are goated. They're so good. I did Ringmeister here 3-4 weeks ago, and I just didn't realise just how good this car is at the Nordschleife. It's tremendously good fun, and I recommend you all give it a go. Especially, again, if you want to switch off from the sweatiness that is going to happen in Season 1, because there's so many special events, big races going on. If you kind of just want to switch off, relax, say you're not that interested actually in your Formula license, I probably shouldn't be saying that, but yeah, it is really good fun, and I highly recommend you give it a go. 23rd December, it's going to be running all week. Just need your C license in Open Formula, and you can take part in this event, and fingers crossed it does well and the numbers are really good, because it deserves it. It's a lot of fun. Moving on to the 8th combination in my list. It is the Porsche Cup car at Le Mans. Before the Porsche Cup car got the upgrade with ABS and TC, this was an incredibly popular combination. Even myself, who doesn't really drive the Porsche Cup car very often, would come out and actually do this event because it is stupendously good fun. The draft is super strong. You really do need it at this track for obvious reasons, but in the Porsche Cup itself, it shows even more really just how strong the draft is and how important it is, especially in these cars. Now, the Porsche Cup cars, they've just had an upgrade. Like I've mentioned, ABS and TC are now on board with a new variant of this car, and I think it's only going to aid its participation levels. So the participation levels should only go up, and that is going to start on the 13th of January. So if you're looking for something to do on the 13th of January, let's just say you're not really a fan of the IMSA stuff and you're not really a fan of Daytona, you want something else to do, well, during that week, the Porsche Cup cars are going to Le Mans. But even if you do like IMSA as well, I mean, what a cracking week that week, right? You got the IMSA at Daytona and you got Porsche Cup car at Le Mans. What a fantastic week. Superb stuff, really is. So yeah, that's number 8 on the list. 13th of January, Porsche Cup car at Le Mans. Participation levels will be through the roof, but so will the meatballs. So watch out, but have some fun at the same time, if you can. Now, next up on the list at number 9. Now, I will say, I know I've mentioned Daytona a lot, but it's the first season of 2026 Daytona 24-hour special event. It's going to happen. But at number 9, it's a Daytona 6-hour. Now, the weekend before the actual 24-hour and before IMSA goes there to Daytona, there is a Daytona 6-hour. So the Global Endurance Series, which is a 6-hour series that runs every 2 weeks, it's going to fall at Daytona for the 24-hour. So again, if you want the perfect prep, if you literally just want to do an endurance race, you're probably doing Daytona for the first time, this is a really good idea to do the 6-hour. Obviously, you're going to need your A license to do it, so that might affect the participation levels slightly, but if you can, I highly recommend doing this. So on the 10th of January, so that weekend, there'll be a 6 hours of Daytona. I think you're going to need, I'm going to say, I think it's your A license. I might be getting slightly confused here, so apologies, might just be B. You'll have to let me know in the comments. But yeah, definitely recommend to do this. I know it's a lot of Daytona, but again, perfect prep for the 24-hour next weekend, and that is taking part on the 10th of January that weekend. So, fingers crossed you take part, and once again, best of luck if you do. Okay, and then coming in at number 10, simply a combination you can't ignore, even if you are not a fan of IMSA, and if you're not a fan of this track, I still think you've got to include it because it is so popular. The participation levels are through the roof, so is the soft as well. Loved by many, and that is IMSA going to Le Mans, and that is on the 30th of December. Now, a little bit of a bonus here as well. I'm going to combine a combination. It's not technically the same, but also that weekend of those races, you also have the IMSA 2-hour 40-minute at Le Mans of that weekend as well. So 30th December, that whole week, you've got IMSA at Le Mans, but also the weekend of that week, you have the 2.4-hour at Le Mans. So that is something to look forward to, and that is my top 10. Now, I'm going to include 2 bonuses here, which is, firstly, the Sports Car Challenge. Again, the ones with the NP GT4s. Week 1, they're going to go to Spa, so that will be incredibly popular. And I thought I'd just chuck that in there as well. If there's something that you want to do during week 1, if you're scratching your head wondering what to do, that one should be right up there. That should be very popular indeed. And also, I'm going to end this video on the Porsche Cup calendar, because I could make this whole video just on the Porsche Cup calendar. It is truly a work of art. It is magnificent. There's a few stinkers in there, but apart from that, it is a solid calendar. There's something in there for everybody. So whoever made the Porsche Cup calendar this season with the new Porsche Cup car coming out, fair play. Fair play. You have smashed that out of the park. So the Porsche Cup calendar could be in a video of its own, because there are some wicked combos, and I think with the ABS and TC, that series is only going to go from strength to strength. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Top 10 races of Season 1, 2026, in my opinion, no particular order. Let me know if I've missed anything. Let me know what you think of the list, and I shall catch you, boys and girls, for the next one. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe on the way out, and I'll see you for next week. Take care. Have a good one. Ta-da.